Welcome back to the Spanish Club. Today we're on lesson number 8. Lección número 8. Lección número 8. So we have a picture of a phonograph right here. So el fonógrafo. In Spanish, that is el fonógrafo. Wonderful. So we're going to learn how to convert nouns from English into Spanish. Okay, so we have 6 words here. So we have invitation, right? So the first one is invitation, preparation, cooperation, imitation, continuation, and recitation. Okay, so these are all in English. To convert them to Spanish words, we change the T-I-O-N to a C-I-O-N. So invitation becomes invitación, like so. So invitation becomes invitación. So we change the T-I-O-N to a C-I-O-N and it becomes a Spanish word. So we have invitación, preparación, cooperación, imitación, continuación, recitación. Invitation, preparation, cooperation, imitation, continuation, and recitation. Wonderful. So now, if you want to change these nouns to verbs, what we do is we take away the acción, the A-C-I-O-N, and we replace that with an E or an O with the accent on top for past tense. If you're dealing in the past tense, of course. So, for example, invitación, so we take the acción off and we put an E there, so it becomes invité, which means I invited, or invitó, which means you, he, or she invited. So we do the same for the rest of the words. So preparación becomes prepare or preparo. Cooperation, cooperación becomes coopere or coopero. Imitación becomes imite or imito. Continuación becomes continue or continuo. Recitación becomes recite or recito. Wonderful. So we're going to look at some sentences here in English. We're going to translate them from English to Spanish. The first one is I invited Mary to the party. So that is invite a María a la fiesta. Invite a María a la fiesta. The second one, I prepared dinner last night. Prepare la cena anoche. Prepare la cena anoche. The third one, the general cooperated with the president. El general cooperó con el presidente. El general cooperó con el presidente. The fourth one we have, the monkey imitated Mary. El mono imitó a María. El mono imitó a María. And the last one we have, Robert recited a poem in the class. That becomes Roberto recitó un poema en la clase. Roberto recitó un poema en la clase. Wonderful. So we have the answers here. So you can pause and take a look. Wonderful. So you can come up with, well, we have English words, right, that end with the T-I-O-N. So what you do is you take that word that's in English, so you translate that to Spanish. So, for example, combination, you change that to combinación, you change the T-I-O-N to a C-I-O-N, and that becomes combinación in Spanish. And after that, in another column, now we work on converting the noun to a verb. So we take off the ACION, replace that with an E or an O. So that becomes combine or combino, meaning I combined or you, he, she combined. So you do that for as many words as you can. Great. So now move on to words to remember. Words to remember. So we have estacione, meaning I parked, or estaciono, you, he, she parked. Entre, meaning I came in or I went in. Entro, you, he, she came in or went in. Deposite, I deposited. Deposito, you, he, she deposited. Installe, I installed. Installo, you, he, she installed or set up. Preocupe, I preoccupied. Preoccupo, you, he, she worried actually means worried. So preoccupo, so preocupe means I worried. Preoccupo means you, he, she worried. Wonderful. So we have el dinero. El dinero, the money. Donde, where. El fonógrafo, the phonograph. La antena, the antenna. ¿Quién? Who? Enfrente de. Enfrente de means in front of. Su means your, his, or her. ¿Quién entró? ¿Quién entró? Who came in? Great. So we move on to the conversation. We have ¿Dónde estacionó usted su automóvil? ¿Dónde estacionó usted su automóvil? Which means, where did you park your car? Estacione mi auto enfrente del banco. Estacione mi auto enfrente del banco. I parked my car in front of the bank. So you would think normally it should be enfrente de el banco, right? Because of a contraction. So de and el, we put that together and we get del. So enfrente del banco, in front of the bank. Next, ¿entró usted en el banco? ¿Entró usted en el banco? Did you enter the bank? Sí, entré en el banco. Yes, I entered the bank. ¿Depositó usted dinero en el banco? Did you deposit money in the bank? Sí, deposité dinero en el banco. Yes, I deposited money in the bank. ¿Quién habló por teléfono esta mañana? ¿Quién habló por teléfono esta mañana? Who spoke on the phone this morning? Or who called up this morning? Roberto habló por teléfono esta mañana. Robert called up this morning. ¿Invitó usted a Roberto a su casa? ¿Invitó usted a Roberto a su casa? Did you invite Robert to your house? Sí, invité a Roberto a mi casa. Yes, I invited Robert to my house. ¿Dónde estacionó Roberto su auto? ¿Dónde estacionó Roberto su auto? Where did Robert park his car? Roberto estacionó su auto enfrente de mi casa. Robert parked his car in front of my house. ¿Entró Roberto a su casa? Did Robert enter your house? Sí, Roberto entró a mi casa. Yes, Robert entered my house. ¿Quién instaló el radio en su casa? Who installed the radio in your house? Roberto instaló el radio en mi casa. Robert installed the radio in my house. ¿Instaló Roberto la antena para el radio? Did Robert install the antenna for the radio? Sí, Roberto instaló la antena para el radio. Yes, Robert installed the antenna for the radio. ¿Instaló Roberto el fonógrafo? Did Robert install the phonograph? Sí, Roberto instaló una combinación radio-fonógrafo. Yes, Robert installed a combination of a radio phonograph. Radio and the phonograph. ¿Inventó Roberto el radio? Did Robert invent the radio? Ay no, eso es ridículo. Roberto no inventó el radio. Oh no, that is ridiculous. Robert did not invent the radio. ¿Quién inventó el radio? ¿Quién inventó el radio? Who invented the radio? Marconi inventó el radio. Marconi invented the radio. ¿Tomó Roberto la cena en su casa? Did Robert take dinner in your house? Sí, Roberto tomó la cena en mi casa. Yes, Robert took dinner in my house. ¿Qué tomó Roberto para la cena? ¿Qué tomó Roberto para la cena? What did Robert take for dinner? Roberto tomó un cóctel de frutas, sopa, roast beef, espárragos y una ensalada. Robert took a fruit cocktail, soup, roast beef, asparagus, and a salad. ¿Tomó Roberto café? Did Robert take coffee? Sí, Roberto tomó café con crema. Yes, Robert took coffee with cream. ¿Quién preparó la cena? Who prepared dinner? Mamá preparó la cena. Mother or mom prepared dinner. ¿Quién preocupó a mamá? ¿Quién preocupó a mamá? Who worried mom? Roberto preocupó a mamá. Robert worried mom. Great. So we move on to sentence form and exercises. So as always, we take a word or sentence from first column, second, and the third. We put that together to make meaningful sentences. So for example, Roberto visitó al paciente. Robert visited the patient. Or el conductor invitó a Juan. The conductor invited John. So you can pause the video and do as many as you can. You come to the next one, B, you do the same here. So for instance, el presidente depositó el dinero en el banco. The president deposited the money in the bank. Or, ¿quién estudió la lección? ¿Quién estudió la lección? Who studied the lesson? So you pause and you work out as many as you can. Finally, we have our exercise in translation. So as always, we're going to translate the easy English sentences into Spanish sentences. So let's try the first one. Robert visited my father. So that becomes Roberto visitó a mi papá. Roberto visitó a mi papá. In the second one, we have Mary invited your friend. That becomes María invitó a su amigo. María invitó a su amigo. The third one we have the patient worried the doctor. The patient worried the doctor. So that is el paciente preocupó al doctor. El paciente preocupó al doctor. And four we have the general saved his friend. El general salvó su amigo. El general salvó su amigo. So you do that for 1 to 15. So you pause the video and you work it out from, well, we've done 1 to 4. So you continue to 15. When you're done, you can check your answers. See if you got everything correct. You can pause and check your answers. That brings us to the end of lesson number 8. Until next time, adios.